Welcome to If I Only Had 10 Minutes. I'm Jane Randel, partner in Comms Collective. People keep telling me I forget to say that, so I'm going to say it now. Tell us a little bit about yourself in just a few minutes.
Sure. So I'm Brad Gorman. I'm the founder of Gorman Strategies. After 20 years in corporate America, I had lots of opportunities working for some of America's biggest and brightest brands and biggest companies. And about a year ago, I went off on my own, hooked up with Comms Collective, and haven't looked back ever since.
Has it only really been a year for you?
It's been a year, yeah. I was
It,
with Whirlpool for about 16 years and then GM for 3.
wow. It feels like I've known you longer than that, so that's weird.
It's
Um,
true.
all right, we're going to dive into our questions. And I'm trying to give you all new ones, so you've never seen these before.
Ooh, okay, exciting.
So, how can a
Yes.
fractional communicator bring value that a full-time team member can't?
Well, I think the value that fractional brings is, I like to call it flexpertise.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's flexible and it's expertise. Because a lot of times comms functions are, you know, under resourced, underappreciated, underutilized, and yet we're shaping conversations and we're shaping trust in, the greatest companies and brands in America. So I think bringing in someone that has that expertise, whether it's crisis communications, media relations, employee communications, change management, can make a huge impact immediately, as opposed to having a role posted, opening the role, posting the role, getting 18 layers of people to approve it. It can make an immediate impact right away.
How have you found people are receiving you when you've gone in to do fractional roles?
It's been fun and different. It's interesting because like you feel like you're a part of the team, but then also you feel like you have scope. So
Mhm.
that's the good part of it.
Right,
As opposed to like you're a part of a major communication organization and there's any up or down or,
right.
uh, earnings miss or restructuring or crisis pops up and you're like, oh, let me go focus on this over here. It's great because I've always had scope, right? So like this
Hmm.
is my scope and what I'm focused on. And I guess the only drawback is sometimes you feel like a little bit like not part of the team
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from that same perspective. But the great benefit of that is just having scope and having a singular focus on delivering like a set of really key deliverables for the company.
Right. I mean, I remember that, having worked at a company for 22 years, and the first time I was really consulting and realizing that I am actually not part of the team and they have meetings without me regardless, it was very painful.
Yeah,
It's a hard lesson to learn.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you feel AI is going to impact, or what you're seeing in terms of comms. I ask everybody sort of the AI question and the fractional question, and I get lots of different answers. I'm just curious. How do you use it? How have you seen other people using it? Do you get instructions when you get a gig, a fractional gig, how to use it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so many different approaches to that. The cool thing is I was able to do the entire technology transformation at GM and work on their first rollout of like AI standards. And to see a Fortune 23 company hire people from tech left and right and completely transform the way they thought about technology has been fascinating. And
Yeah,
I mean, there will be books written on GM's technology transformation. It's really, really fascinating. Rapid change, people change, headcount change, leadership change, lots of things. But I mean, every single professional and organization and institution needs to go through that type of change at that speed. And I think that's different for everyone. But it's interesting because literally, like, something I would have said about AI 3 months ago is completely not
yeah,
even relevant because it's advanced so much. So I think the preparedness for change is huge. I also think so the change part is one. And I also think like where trust is going is really fascinating to look at because if you look at where the trust in public officials, organizations, brands, institutions, trust has been declining year over year. So you look at things like the Edelman Trust Barometer, we're not trusting organizations, news sources, institutions. But my theory is that that trust is getting replaced by trust in AI.
interesting.
And I see that like interpersonally. I mean, people are looking to AI for recommendations on products, even for like relationship advice and like
That I
life
find very
advice.
strange, I have to admit.
It is fascinating, but where is that trust going? I think that's a huge question that communicators should be a part of answering. of if we're not trusting organizations and institutions and we are trusting technology, what does that mean for us and the way we interact and the way we communicate with each other? So
That's
I'm really fascinated with that question.
that's actually really interesting. We have a course, the Responsible AI Comms Lab, um, and I actually am taking it because how could we offer a course that we hadn't taken? And it's very interesting, in trust and transparency and all the things that you're talking about are really, key. Honestly, I didn't make the class. I didn't design the class. I just took the
Yeah,
class. It's so good. Like it's really good. I really, really, really enjoyed it. In fact, I even watched the playback when I missed a class, and that is usually not something I'm, eager to do. And it was still really, really interesting. So
that's
I
amazing.
realize it's ours, but I still highly recommend it. New cohort starting in February. Keep an eye out.
Let's
Um,
do it.
let's talk about leadership a little bit. How has leadership evolved in your mind over time?
Well, I think leadership, I'd like to say that I think leadership has demanded more authenticity and more realness. The days of having 3 weeks to prepare a media statement and a million communicators around you determining how you look and how you respond and everything like that, it's kind of gone away. So you see the most trusted voices, whether it's podcasts or politically or organizational leadership, are the most authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And the CEOs that are the most real are creating the most draw and have the most, the most trusted voices out there. So I like that. I think I've always tried to be radically authentic and radically real in my career, for better or
Yeah.
for worse,
Mm-hmm.
because there's ways that has catapulted me to success that I could never imagine. And there's been ways that that's held me back, which is unfortunate. But I think being authentic and being real and being yourself is just a key component to leadership today.
That's amazing. Thank you. Okay. If you could live anywhere for a year, now we're getting into the more of the fun stuff. If you could live anywhere for a year, where would it be and what would you do?
Oh, for a year. Oh man. Um, I've always really been obsessed with Korea and Korean culture. After college, I worked for a Korean business in LA, and so I learned some of the conversational Korean and about all the Korean culture and food and everything like that. So I'd have to say Seoul.
Have you been?
Yeah, I went to visit, but yeah, it would be amazing to spend a year in Seoul.
It's very funny because there's a map behind you, so I'm sort of laughing that I asked you that question. Maybe it was subliminal. I'm not
I
sure.
love traveling. I mean, my husband and I travel all around the world, so I really love so many places here. I could point to all of them.
No, I love traveling too. Okay, one more question, and then the signature. What's
Okay.
a compliment you've gotten that you've never forgotten?
Oh man, a compliment I've gotten that I've never forgotten. I think it's from a mentee that I had for a number of years. And she kind of reminded me of me, where she is just really, she's really opinionated. She kind of goes against the grain. She's the one that in the room full of people where nobody is asking the question, she will raise her hand and ask the question.
Yeah, yeah,
And she said to me after a couple of years of mentoring her, she said, "You're like the only more senior communication person that whenever I message you on LinkedIn, whenever I ask you for a lunch chat, whenever I ask you for a coffee chat, you always, always said yes." I remember there were so many people in my career. There were some people that said that. There were some people that didn't, right? You reach out to someone like a
yeah,
mentor or someone you want to be like, and they just don't respond. And I remember how that made me feel. And I never want to make someone else feel that way. So I always, always, always like respond to a DM or take the coffee chat or take the lunch meeting. So when she said, like, you've never in the past 3 years denied meeting with me to like coach me or give me advice on my career, that meant so much to me. I'm sure it meant
yeah,
a lot to her, but it meant a lot to me because I was like, oh my God, I'm finally like making the difference and helping someone in a career. So I'll
yeah.
never forget that. And I always try to be that for anyone that reaches out anytime.
I get you on that one because people were so kind to me when I was first looking for a job, and I did all sorts of. I'll tell the story another time, but I did all sorts of informational interviews and all these things, and I will always, always, always I'll always take a call. I'll always speak to anybody. I don't care if they're young, old, whoever who wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
Name the podcast. If you only had 10 minutes, an extra 10 minutes in your day, you only had 10 minutes. What would you do?
100% easy question, easy answer. I would hang out with my godson. He just turned 11, and we just did a bunch of fall festivity activities when I was in Michigan visiting him. And he's such a joy. He's in 6th grade. He's totally into sports, He tolerates me not being good at sports at all, and we'll throw baseball, throw football back and forth. I think he takes it easy on Uncle Brad, but he's just like, he's my best friend's kid, and he's also my best friend.
Yeah.
So he's just a joy of my life. And if I had an extra 10 minutes, it would be hanging out with Harper.
That's awesome. Thank you, Brad. This is always fun. This flew. It was really fast. So
It really did fly by.
thank you, my friend.
Thank you
And
so
thank you,
much.
everybody, for listening.
Thank you.